What is going on, everybody? So, the MSI Claw is getting a lot of publicity lately, and it's not for particularly good reasons. I honestly was expecting this handheld to do very well and to perform a lot better than its sister and cousin handhelds, the ROG Ally and Lenovo Legion Go. You can guess which one is the sister and which one is the cousin, I guess. But in terms of performance, the MSI Claw is not doing very well. In fact, it's doing a lot worse than even the Steam Deck. And I say even the Steam Deck because its processor is not as advanced as the processors placed into the ROG Ally and Lenovo Legion Go. So even with the Steam Deck CPU, sometimes the Steam Deck performs twice as good as the MSI Claw. And that is just embarrassing. But you know what this means. Since the Steam Deck is performing better, you bet your sweet behind that the ROG Ally is performing hurdles over the MSI Claw as of right now. Since there are a lot of early adopters, the MSI Claw is not getting the best light in terms of information and publicity and just performance in general. With all the tests that I've been watching over the past few weeks with these early adopters, just shamefully uploading these videos. They don't even seem like they want to upload MSI Claw videos at this point. And for information's sake, I didn't want the MSI Claw to fail. In fact, I wanted the exact opposite. I wanted to buy this handheld and for it to potentially be my new daily driver, especially with its 53 watt-hour battery, 1080p screen, and 120 hertz display. And it actually includes variable refresh rate, is what I'm hearing. Some people are saying that it includes HDR, but I'm not sure about that because it is tough to include an HDR panel with these handhelds nowadays. You got to be a superpower like Valve in order to do so. But with the ROG Ally 2 coming out very soon, apparently, the fact that the ROG Ally 1 performs astronomically better than the MSI Claw is just saddening. If handhelds continue to be as rough as the MSI Claw, this might be the beginning of the end of handheld PCs, or we might be seeing a slowdown, because as of late, in the past year alone, there have been 3 mainstream handhelds to be announced alongside the Steam Deck. And I find it to be a bit much. I kind of want them to slow down. So saying that the MSI Claw might be the beginning of the end for the constant handheld line isn't a bad thing. I want these companies to slow down, at least one handheld a year. But I'm assuming that this market is going to evolve similar to how the smartphone market has, where they replace and advance into a new model every single year, or even twice a year, according to Apple. But if handhelds continue like the MSI Claw, without even caring about optimization or trying experimental CPUs like the Intel Ultra 5 and 7, which by the way, I'm hearing that the Intel Ultra 5 performs better than the Intel Ultra 7. Now, how is it that the MSI Claw is embarrassing itself in terms of performance? Why am I going to pay $50 more for something with more cores that doesn't even take advantage of those cores? It's honestly just surprising on all fronts at this point. But yes, it has been proven time and time again that the ROG Ally performs a lot better than the MSI Claw. And the thing hasn't even released yet. I've been told that the official release date is somewhere around April 20th or April 22nd. I'm not exactly sure. I might have seen April 28th. It all depends on the shipping and when MSI decides that it's the appropriate time to release this handheld. And I'm sure at this point, they're going to push it or delay it at least 5 months later. Just like with certain controllers in the past, sometimes supply is not as good as demand, and you need to go back to the drawing board to fix a lot of that. So I'm assuming that MSI is going to go back and try to rectify this situation and just their overall issues that everybody is having currently with this handheld. It is quite a shame because in my experience, Intel has been one of the flagship CPUs that I use with any PC that I build or any laptop that I get. I make sure that I get an Intel CPU mainly because I edit a lot and I do other things other than gaming on it. But I'm starting to notice that Intel CPU laptops don't even perform that much better than my ROG Ally. And my ROG Ally has a mobile AMD processor in it. It's not even a full-size processor or GPU like a lot of these laptops have nowadays with the 30 and 40 series NVIDIA chips. But it seems like all of the rumors, and not even just rumors, but reports are true, that Intel is just not what it used to be. And looking further into those tests with the ROG Ally versus the MSI Claw, it seems like the MSI Claw uses twice as much power for 20% less performance. So that means if you're using an ROG Ally in 25 watt mode and using an MSI Claw in 50 watt mode, you're going to get a lot less battery for 20% less performance that you would with an ROG Ally in 25 watt mode. So you save twice as much battery with the ROG Ally with even more performance. And with the Steam Deck, the differences are even greater with lower TDP going down to 15 watts. Of course, when you go to higher TDP with the MSI Claw, eventually it will get better performance, but at the cost of so much more battery. And since it is 53 watt hours, you won't see much of a difference in terms of battery, but you will get less battery with the MSI Claw at so much more wattage. And if you don't know already, using a lot more wattage does decrease the lifespan of whatever CPU or GPU you are using, and it dissipates a lot more heat to the system. So you're gonna get a ton more heat coming out of the MSI Claw with its lifespan greatly decreasing, opposed to something that was taken care of like the Steam Deck and ROG Ally. I'm not sure about the Lenovo Legion Go. I hear that thing gets extremely hot at times and the fan is very loud for the most part. So I would assume its lifespan would be a lot less than the ROG Ally, since the ROG Ally's fan doesn't really go off a lot while I'm using it in performance mode, and in performance mode it plays a good amount better than a Steam Deck at times. A lot of people would report that the ROG Ally doesn't play as well as a Steam Deck in performance, but I can confirm that playing at 1080p for the most part, it does perform significantly better than a Steam Deck. And of course that's about a 10 to 20% performance increase, especially if you're playing games at 720p on the ROG Ally. Its processor is just better. Emulating games is just a lot faster on the ROG Ally versus the Steam Deck. So overall performance versus those two would be a lot better, but looking at the ROG Ally and MSI Claw, I wouldn't think in a million years I would be seeing these numbers, since in my experience, I've gotten mostly Intel chips for my laptops and built computers. I just trusted Intel a lot more than AMD growing up. But now seeing these gaming numbers, it seems like Intel is just better for a work computer, while AMD is better for gaming. Since AMD is a newer company, it seems like the priorities would be focused on gaming mostly. And seeing these numbers online everywhere, it seems like AMD is the better company for gaming in general. And if you are planning on getting a handheld, I highly recommend a handheld that includes an AMD processor opposed to an Intel processor, because it's just not looking good for MSI Claw for right now and for the near future. If the performance is this abysmal compared to other handhelds that have come out close to a year ago and beyond, I'm afraid that the MSI Claw is going to have a long road ahead of it. It's going to take at least 8 months for MSI to correct its wattage and performance with this handheld. And I'm certain of those numbers. But at least the MSI Claw didn't promise more than it delivered. They just showed us a handheld and said, well, it's coming out soon, so I hope you like it. They didn't really give us any fake numbers like Asus did with their outrageous conference. And I still hold that against them till this day. They kind of never addressed all the lies they told about the ROG Ally. I guess if your expectations are so high, you won't get disappointed, because I just thought the ROG Ally was going to be pretty much a portable PS5 at that point, judging by all the numbers they were giving us. But seeing it now, it's a suitable handheld, and its performance is more than up to par with the Steam Deck in my opinion and experience. And now even seeing a newer handheld from Intel and MSI, which I respect MSI with all my heart, but seeing that handheld fail at the knees of the ROG Ally and Steam Deck and even the Legion Go, it is clear that a lot more work has been put into those handhelds, and the MSI Claw has a very long road ahead of it. But let me know what you guys think about these recent MSI Claw reports and tests. Are you going to get an MSI Claw anyway, or are you going to hold off and get something like an ROG Ally or an ROG Ally 2 or a Legion Go? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Later.